Hello, Jessica Frost-Ballas here with another card for Honeybee Stamps. Today I've created a slimline autumn-themed card, and I'll share some of my favorite tips and tricks for masking. So let's get started. First off, I decided to create an almost one-layer card today instead of stamping, layering, and die-cutting images. So to help me plan out my card, I'd laid all my images out onto the card panel, including the sentiment dies, and then I took a photo of the layout before I began. This way I have a reference to look back on as I start working. I also take the photo on my gridded work surface so I have a measured reference guide. As you can see, I'm using lots of images from Oh My Whiskers and Pumpkin Patch. Next, I stamped all my images onto a piece of masking paper and then fussy cut each one. As a general reminder, you don't have to bother fussy cutting single lines like the stems of the leaves or the whiskers of the cats. As you can see here, I've already stamped and masked the bottom layer, but thought we'd go step by step through the middle layer. Using my reference photo, I plan out the layer. I remove any stamps that will be in the background of my images. For example, here my pumpkin and cat will be in the foreground and everything else will be dimensionally behind those images. So I pick up the stamps with the lid of my MISTI and then remove the grid paper. I stamp the images with Copic friendly ink and then place my masks over both images. Then I place my grid paper back over the panel, arrange the next layer of stamps, pick them up with my MISTI lid, remove the grid paper, and stamp them with ink. I place my masks over the next images and then move on to the top layer. After I'm done stamping, I place a mask for my sky over the top of the panel. Then I blend cracked Pistachio Distress Oxide ink over the panel. I add another mask to the bottom of my panel and blend Evergreen Bough and Pine Needles Distress Oxide ink over the masking paper to give the grass a little dimension. I repeat the process at the bottom of the panel. Then I peel up the mask covering my sky, and as you can see, accidentally lift the masks off the pumpkins and cat. I carefully peel those off and place them back on my stamped images. I also mask the ground. Then I blend Chipped Sapphire, Blueprint Sketch, Salty Ocean, and Tumbled Glass Distress Oxide ink onto my sky. Once I'm finished with the blending, I carefully peel off all my masks. I just love this reveal. I know some people prefer to do their coloring before their masking, but I always prefer to do it this way because occasionally I've moved or ripped a mask or splattered paint through a mask and ruined the stamped and colored images. At least if that happened here, I wouldn't have wasted hours coloring first. But as you can see, these masks worked perfectly here. Then it was time to color. I used varying shades of orange, yellow, and brown for my pumpkins, and kept my cats in shades of warm gray and grayish brown. I'll include the specific marker colors I used in the blog post. As you can see, I've removed both caps on many of my markers. I've recently refilled them and I've had some problems with markers blooping ink on my coloring, so this is just a safeguard to make sure the pressure is equalized in the markers. After a few more coloring sessions, I should have used up enough ink that it won't be necessary to remove both caps, but for now this is the best way to make sure I don't run into any trouble. Once I'm finished coloring, I stamped sentiments from fall onto black cardstock with Versamark and heat embossed them with gold embossing powder. I trimmed them down to thin labels and also die cut the fall sentiment word from gold glitter cardstock and black cardstock. I adhered the sentiment together and then adhered them all to my card panel. Off camera, I added accents with a white gel pen and stamped some of the pumpkin vines on the stems of my pumpkins to finish the card. And that's it. You can find links to all the products I used in the YouTube description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my video today. I'll be back next month with more videos. Until then, have a great day and happy crafting. Bye!